Hello, hello, everyone. Happy Friday. I am so excited that you're here with me. Today is a fun day. Today is the launch of our summer release, and it has all kinds of fun things that will make you excited for summer to get here. I am Shannon Smith. I am the director of the inspiration team at Brutus Monroe. And every Friday we get together and we create something. And I hope that you, if this is your first time, I hope that you enjoy yourself and that you'll come back. Well, hello, Donna. How are you? I hope that you are having a great week. We'll just wait a couple minutes. I see Penny. Hello, Penny. How are you doing? Long time no see, huh? Hello, Beverly. Welcome. Hello, Kate. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay, I don't know if any of you didn't see earlier, Christopher was live because we have a brand new release. Oh, I'm so glad, Penny. We have a brand new summer release, and it is really, really fun. And it's kind of near and dear to my heart because Darren illustrated all the stamps for it, and it was really fun to collaborate together. And Darren is really just amazing about the way that he can put ideas into action. And I love the way that I loved the opportunity that we had to work with Heather and to work together to be able to create this release. So with that, let's go ahead and switch the camera and I will show you the stamp sets. Hi, Anne. Hi, Tina. Okay, so this is the stamp set. This is, let me back up my camera just a little bit. And it might take care of some of the glare. Sorry. I moved it the other day and it's just a little too close. We're going to do some coloring tonight, so it's okay if it's a little bit close, but not that close. And that light, I'm not going to be able to help too much because it's coming from overhead. So I'll just move it over. Maybe that will help. No, we'll just have to hold it up. So you can see this is called Froggy Fun. And you've got your cute little guy with his little drink and he's got his cute shorts on. He looks like a dad to me. And he looks like he is just enjoying his summer already. And then you've got this little guy who we're going to use tonight in his little inner tube. And look at him. He looks like he is just so content and just soaking up the sun, soaking up the day, enjoying the moment. And then we've got this cute little guy who's just kind of lounging around. Well, hello, Jennifer. Welcome. Yeah, definitely a good Father's Day one. In fact, this barbecue one, I love this one too. This one is one of my favorites. And I have a brother who is, we always tease that he got his BBQ instead of his PhD. He he is just, he's the grill master in our family. And so I definitely see a card going his way with that. And then you have, of course, our little femme fatale. And I love that she's just strutting her stuff. And I just think these are just so fun. And I love that each one has its own cute little personality. So that is the main stamp set in the release. It's a 6x8 stamp set. Well, hello, Mackie. What, honey? Oh, okay. And this is available with the stamp set on its own, or you can buy it in a bundle with the dies. I know. I love that hat too, Kate. She's just wearing it with flair. Hi, Carrie. How are you doing? I'm so glad that you made it on tonight. Okay, so this one is called Summer Lovin'. Hi, Anne. Oh, I know. I am enjoying these frogs. They're just too much fun. And then the frogs, they're so much fun on their own, but they're even more fun with all of these little accessories. You've got your fun little flamingo, and we're going to be using this guy today, an additional float. You've got your kite, your popsicle. I love that popsicle. I don't know what it is about it, but I am just in love with that little popsicle. Then you've got your essential barbecue tools. You've got another barbecue. You've got all of these good sayings. You've got your flip flops and your ball. Just another really fun stamp set. And then one more to obviously coordinate. And then one that, oh, I just realized I didn't bring something. I'm going to have Benji do me a favor in just a second. And so this one, I'll explain what I was about to say in a minute. But this is the picnic table, and this is really fun to use with the little frogs as well. And you've got all of these little, you've got your burger, you've got this, I mean, all the things you need for a picnic or a barbecue. You've got your essential watermelon, you've got a bag of chips, you've got a hot dog, you've got a little solo cup, a condiment bottle, and a cake. I mean, you're all set. So we're going to use some of each of these three. And then another one. Is Benji in the room, hun? Yeah. Could you have him grab all those cards that are sitting on the white thing? And then this really pretty one. I love this one because you can use it on its own, or you can incorporate it with the frogs, which I did on a card that I'll show you tonight. But this one has these really pretty water lilies. And then you've got all of these great sayings and these cute little dragonflies. So I'll show you a couple of cards that I made with these sets. So this one, I used the little girl on that. And you can see I used one of the, sorry, I know it's kind of out of focus. I was trying to kind of get it back in focus, but it's going to be kind of iffy. And, oh, there we go. That's a little better. So this little water lily is from the frog set. And this one is from the water lily set. And there's more on the water lily set. There's another one here. And then I think there's a lily pad by itself. Yeah, there's a lily pad all by itself with the frogs. So that gives you lots to work with. And then I just used the little dragonfly. And I thought that saying, I find you riveting, it just had to go with her. And then in the background, I don't know if you can see it very well, but I used the water stencil to create a watery background. Well, hello, Lisa. Hello, LL. Frogs they are sassy little frogs, aren't they? Speaking of sassy, I have to tell you guys, I think I told you Friday that I was having a crazy, crazy week last week, and it just kept getting crazier. So this week started, I told you about our whole fence situation. I didn't even go into all the details, and I still won't. But needless to say, we had some fun with our neighbor. And because our fence that we were building, we actually unintentionally took down our neighbor's fence, and it did not go well. Anyway, I think we've smoothed things over. I think it's going to be okay. But he was pretty grumpy with us for a few days, and his was the only part of the fence that was not literally tipping over and patched to high heaven. So anyway, you guys have met Cookie. And Cookie, we were having some trouble with her. She was really aggressive towards Darren and just snarling at him, and she just was not warming up to him. But we were trying to give her some space and give her a little bit of a chance. But so the neighbor, meanwhile, keeps coming through our yard because he's kind of assessing what he needs to do for his fence. And I am walking the dogs because we don't have a back fence at that time. And wouldn't you know, I get the dogs all the way back home, just about in the house when the neighbor comes around the corner, and Cookie went crazy. And she's a strong dog, and she got out of her collar and her leash, and she went right for the neighbor, and she bit him. So sadly, she's fine. I made sure because she didn't break the skin. Thankfully, we didn't have to have a bite report or whatever they call it. But it was really sad. It was sad, but I can't help that. You know, I can help potty training, I can do whatever, but I can't, I don't have the skills to get the aggression out. So what we did was we made sure that she was going to be okay and that she would be safe, that they weren't going to destroy her or anything. But we took her back. We were fostering her. We took her back to the animal shelter. But we did come home not empty-handed. We ended up with a much smaller pup, and this is Sassy, and she definitely lives up to her little name. So, hi Benji, you've got people saying hi to you. Say hi, Penny.
Hello.
So this is Sassy, and she fits in a little better. The other dogs are a lot happier, and she adores Darren. So it was a good move, but it was not without a lot of thought, and some tears were shed. So let's see, what did you color the lilies with? Oh, thank you. These lilies are colored with alcohol markers. All right, so next card is this one, which I used this is the beach towel stencil, and mine's dirty, so forgive me. I haven't had a chance to clean it off yet, but this is what it looks like. You've got your towel and you've got all of these fun little layers that you can add to your towel to customize it just how you want it. So that's what I used, and then I cut it out, and that I used there's that popsicle. I told you I'm in love with that little popsicle. And then we use the beach ball over here. And this again is that water stencil, which I am totally a fan of. So then I used, yeah, I already answered that. Thanks, hon. I understand. So then this one, I used the fire stencil in the background with like 3 different colors of ink, and it was really, really simple, really easy. And then we used our little barbecue guy and the grill, and it was really a simple card. It went together really fast, and it was just easy with that cute stamp set. Oh, Lisa, you're so sweet. Thank you. I'm sorry you had a hard week. Oh man, some weeks you just go, really? Really? So this one, it's kind of hard to see. The camera's not going to do it a lot of justice because the color is going to kind of fade out. But this one is the shade stencil. And I just went through and colored the areas. I used a really light gray first and put a really thin layer down, and then removed the stencil so that I could see where all of the glasses were. And then I did different colors. And then I put the stencil back and used a darker gray and a bunch of sprays. I don't know if you can see the texture in there. And that's how I accomplished that. Okay, well, that's what I've got so far. I'm still making cards. There's so many fun ones to make with these. And I just am so inspired. I'm just having lots of fun with it. Okay. Oh, I'm sure you do, Carrie. And hugs right back to you. Hugs right back to you. Okay, oops, didn't mean to show you. Okay, let's start with the blank piece. So this kind of looks white in the camera, but it's gray. I just used a really, really light gray cardstock, and I cut it down to 3 3/4 by 5. And so I'm going to go ahead and take our pool stencil, and I'm going to flip it over. I turned it on the opposite side just because you'll understand why in just a minute. And I am going to use my stick and stamp mat. And if you are not familiar with the stick and stamp mat, this is an amazing tool. It's a sticky mat that holds everything in place when you're trying to stencil. So I'm just going to stick my cardstock down, and then I'm going to line up my stencil where I want it. I want that up at the top, so we'll just kind of about like that. Now this side is still kind of sticky, and this is kind of an intricate set. So what I'm going to do, I wouldn't always suggest when you're using the stick and stamp, but sometimes when you have really intricate stencils, you know, sometimes you just do it anyway. I'm going to use a little bit of pixie spray so that my stencil will stay nice and snug on the paper itself. And so between those two things for this stencil, we're good to go. Okay. The mats are awesome, aren't they? I agree. Okay, we're going to take a couple of things. I forgot to tell you. So in this stencil, you also get the piece that goes right here so you can mask. And we're going to go ahead and put that in so that we don't have to worry about getting anything where the pool's going to be, because we're going to use red and brown, and I don't want to swim in a red and brown pool. I don't know about you, but I know I don't. All right, so I'm using Cracklin Campfire and Brushed Corduroy Distress Oxides. And we're going to take some of our, oh, did I not put the brushes over here? Could have sworn I did. All right, let's see. I'll just grab a couple more. All right, so we're going to use our blending brushes. My dogs say hello. I know I had those too. That's the thing is right after I end this, I'm going to figure out where I put them. They're going to be right there, and I'm going to go, oh yeah, I put them there. All right, well, we're just going to go with it. Let me see. I'm just going to make sure this one's kind of cleaned out. It looks like it had something kind of orange in it. So I'm just going to get everything off of it because that'll work still with this. So I can't tell you exactly what color that was, but that's all right. Okay, so let's use some of our, what was this one? Corduroy? Brushed corduroy, yes. We're just going to kind of tap on there. And just kind of spread that around. I got a little heavier on it than I wanted to in that corner, but that's okay. And just keep rubbing because you want it to be smooth anyway, and that'll just kind of take care of things a little better. And because we're making kind of a stony patio, it's okay if there's varying colors. We want it to not look all even because stone is not even, right? Oh, Penny, that is a good idea. Hot rod, that would be fun. If I've seen a common request for sets, it's usually people who are looking for more masculine sets, because I think we're all just, we've seen a lot of fishing sets, and not every man is a fisherman, you know what I mean? I think tools, there's always tools, there's always fishing sets, and I think, dang, we need to get a little more creative on that sometimes. But I do know of a few things coming, not super soon, but this year, that hopefully you like, that might give you a new idea. All right. I'm just going to use a little bit of this one because I really did get a lot of orange in one spot.
Donna says hi.
Hi, Donna. How are you doing? Happy Friday. I'm glad you're with us. Okay. So you can kind of see what we did here. So I think you've seen enough of this to know kind of how we got to that point. So I am going to take that off and maybe use it another day. Let's bring this one on. Look at how quickly we finished that. Okay, so now I'm going to put the stencil back on. try lining that right back up. Get as close as I can anyway. I think that's pretty close. And now I'm going to, this is probably the hardest part of this entire thing that we're doing tonight. And it's not even hard, but it's just kind of tricky, but we can do it. So thankfully I have these heart-shaped Post-its. They just made my life kind of easy because look. So we're just going to take the curves and then I'm just using these because those heart ones are, the sticky is down the middle. So, and down the middle this way. So they're kind of weird. So I'm just making sure that they're not going to come up on us. Let's see, we'll do that. We'll do that. And I've got a whole pile more, thankfully, so we can work with. Okay, so here's another heart. We can use that to go around this edge here. You like the stencil in action. Okay, I'm sorry. A lot of comments came up while I looked down. I understand. Friday nights, I think you usually start filling everything from the week catch up, Donna. Oh, good, Kelly. I'm glad that I chose to use it tonight. Oh my gosh, I would love hot rod frogs. That would be awesome. Oh, with a motorcycle helmet. That's awesome. I love that. Okay. Yeah, motorcycles would be fun. All right, let's see. We're getting there. I told you this part was the trickiest part. Let's see, let's do it like that. And we'll stick this on there. All those curves, they make a cool pool, but they make a tricky line. All right, we're almost there, guys. Thanks for sticking with me through this. I wonder if this would be better. Trying to find the right. There we go. All right. Do I have one more heart to get that weird last little spot? And I'll just stick this over the top so that that end doesn't stick up. Okay, well, that was kind of crazy, but trust me, it's worth the effort. Okay, so the next thing that we're going to do is we are going to take, this is one of my favorite things in this release. It's this cute little 4x4 stencil, and it just makes the coolest water. So I'm going to show you how to make some fun water with this. So I'm just going to stick that right over the top of all of this pile of mess. And let's see, I think I'm going to add a little bit of tape on top just because, again, it's a very intricate stencil. So we're just going to do that just so it doesn't move on us. I think we're good. Okay. Oh, maybe one more. Looks like it's not as tight as we might want it right here. I think it'll be okay. All right. So now we're going to take our blending brushes. And honestly, I've told you this before, but I'll just say it again. I like to just start with my blending brush as is because I don't really clean them out. I have them color coded. So I have just color families in there so that I can just kind of do exactly what I'm doing right now. Because I tend to load them up fairly full. Oh, Sassy made an appearance. Ben, can you come and get Sassy, please? Okay. All right, Sass, stay out of trouble. This room, of all the rooms in our house, she could probably get in the most trouble in. So hopefully, oh, yeah. Well, tell Ben when he comes to bring some paper towels. Well, she wasn't out there long enough. Sorry, guys. This is live. This is definitely live. Hello, Anne-Marie. Oh, thank you, Mackie. Okay. So I just took everything out of the brush that I had. I can guarantee that it was probably mostly Clear Skies and Remember Me ink from Simon Hurley. But now that I've done that, I'm going to take my smaller brush. This is the 4-inch brush that Burgess Monroe carries, and I love these. I've been putting them on almost every order because I want to have them for both my Simon Hurley inks as well as my Distress inks. So we're going to take Clear Skies. Oh, I'm so glad that you like it, Anne-Marie. And we're just going to kind of go over that a little bit. I like to kind of go over where the stencil is. I don't feel like I need to fill the whole thing, but I kind of want to establish the pattern, especially. Sorry, she's playful right now. She was attacking the rug. Benji's indisposed, so she had to come in here. All right. So anyway, that way I can show the pattern, because what we're going to do now to make it look more like water, see how fun that is? We're going to just turn the stencil. Because if you think about it, think about water reflections. There's a lot of things going on with those, and it's not necessarily all one layer. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to add some more to our water. And now I'm using some more of the Clear Skies, but I think I may actually do Remember Me with my little brush. And I'm just going to go over that same way. So I'm just really going over the edges. All right, almost done with this one. And we'll look it over and see how many, you can just kind of play with it. You know, if you want more layers, do more layers. I do want more layers. I think one more, but look, already it looks more like water. It's a little more realistic than just the one pattern. So you just want to try a different spot. And I just want to get rid of a little bit more of the white. What are you doing, crazy girl? And this one I'll just, can you hear her? She's ferocious.
She's very unhappy to be on here. She wanted to be near you.
Well, she's definitely rambunctious now. What are you doing? What are you doing? You're crazy. She's definitely not a shrinking violet. Sassy girl. Okay. So I think that's good enough. Look at that. Doesn't that look like water? And you can even add more depth and experiment with that. I've done it with, found a piece of paper. Honestly, it's keeping her busy, so I'm just going to let her play with that for right this minute. You could use white pigment ink and get more layers and more fun new ways to use it. Oh, Donna, I'm glad you love the new paper pads. They were fun to put together. Christopher put together the vintage one at the last minute, and I think it's really cool. Yes, that would work as a giraffe print. That would work as a giraffe print. Okay, I want to just make sure I haven't missed anything. Nope. Okay, it looks like I'm keeping up with you guys. Okay, so now we can replace, now we can, what's the word I'm looking for? Remove the stencil, and we've got this to work with. And if you want to, like on the first one that I did, I actually went over it again to make it a little darker, which I actually think looks better. What? I can't give you all the attention right this second, bud. I'm so sorry. We'll play after. She wants to play. She wants to play right now. Let's just kind of, I don't want to, I'm so sorry. Oh, she's biting my feet. Oh my goodness. Is Benji about done?
I hope so.
If you saw what she's doing to my feet right now, you might be impressed that I'm as composed as I am, because she is like holding on to my pant leg for all she's worth. All right. Okay, let's see what we've got. That is what we've got. When Sassy gets bigger, she can become your paper cardboard shredder. Oh, yes. Yes. Hey, you can't do that. Honestly, I think I'm better off if I hold her for a minute until Benji gets out. So this is what we've got now. And now we're ready to add some fun things to this. So I have already stamped. We just need to color some of our images.
Jill asked what kind of dog she is.
You know, I'm not sure, Jill. She is a rescue dog. You can kind of see, if anybody has any ideas, let me know. She has kind of a long little, is it a snoot or snout? And she's got those cute little ears that I love so much. But she's definitely a mix. We don't know what she is, but she's fun and we love her. And when she's not being a spaz, she's really lovey and really cuddly. So thank goodness. All right, so now I'm trying to decide which one I like better. Which one do you guys like better? Do you like the one with more? I kind of do. I like this one fine, but I think we're going to use this one. What was that, hun? Oh, thanks, Jill. I'm sorry, what?
Never mind.
Okay, never mind. All right, so we've got our cute little relaxing guy here. Let's get him colored. And I'm using Spectrum Noir tri-blend markers. I've got, I'll just list all of them right now. Let me put them where you can see them. I've got hydrangea, brown gray, ice gray, coral, muted brown, and light green. Take care. Thank you. And yeah, over there, if you could take care of that. I appreciate it. Thank you, Ben.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's start with the frog. Let's do the green. And I should be a lot more focused now. Thanks for putting up with me and all of the craziness. We don't call it crafty shenanigans for nothing. All right. And so I'm starting with the lightest color. And I think I told you, this is light green blend.
Jill says her bark sounds almost like her dog's bark.
Oh yeah? What kind of dog do you have, Jill?
He's a Maltese Yorkie mix.
Oh man, I bet that's cute. We have a Maltese as well, and they are having a lot of fun most of the time. But our Maltese is 6 years old, Darren,
Yeah, I think so.
and he's been a little bit of an old man right now, being kind of grumpy with her. But I think they'll come around and enjoy each other even more. They're getting along really pretty well, definitely better than they were with Cookie. But I think they were a little overwhelmed by Cookie because both of my dogs are fairly small.
Louie's less grumpy than Buddy.
Yeah, Buddy's kind of territorial too. Buddy is my Velcro dog, and he does not want to share. All right, so now I'm using the darkest color. I should remind you, just in case you haven't used the Spectrum Noir markers. So if you use the tri-blends, they have 3 different markers in one. So you've got your light one that I used already, and your dark one, and then in the middle, there's a medium blend, which I think is genius. Because I think a lot of people are intimidated by alcohol markers because they're like, oh, I don't know how to put the blends together. Well, you don't have to with these. So I highly recommend them, especially if you're just starting. All right, so now I'm just going to go back through with my lightest color to just kind of blend that color out. I'm just pushing the color all the way through, because that's really the biggest trick about alcohol ink, is you're really moving the color around. And there are my other 2. They've been quiet this whole time. Okay, so I think we've got a pretty good blend on there. Good enough. Okay, so now we'll move on and let's color the tube. Let's do that in our ice blue, maybe. Actually, let's use the brown gray. I love this color because it's just it's versatile, because you can make it go because it is the brown gray. You can go with more of the brown. It just works for everything. You know what I mean? It's a good neutral. So again, I'm doing the lightest color first. And I am no expert. There's lots of ways you can use alcohol markers, but this is the way that works for me. So this is what I do. And then let's take it from the side a little bit more. We're using that darkest color, kind of where all the shadows would be and where we want to kind of put some contrast. Oh, Laurie, I'm glad that you like it. Darren, Donna's asking if you're doing anything special for your birthday.
Yeah, I'm typing right now.
And Jill uses these too. Jill, yes. Yes, yes, yes. Let's see. Okay. So let's blend that out a little bit. We kind of want to get a highlight where the shine would maybe be on the tire. And I need to learn how to do more of that. That's not my forte, but I'm going to fake it till I make it, if that's all right. Okay. So now we've got the tube. So now let's color his trunks. let's color them. Let's see, do I have a turquoise here? Well, we don't want turquoise because the water's turquoise. Let's do dark purple. There's not a lot there, so I'm not even going to worry about doing a whole lot of blending on this. I'm just going to basically make them purple. What, honey?
You changed it to hydrangea.
No, it's hydrangea.
Okay.
Hydrangea is a purple.
I know that. You said dark purple. That was a different color.
Oh, I meant the dark on the marker. I used the darkest marker.
You're confusing me, man.
Sorry, Darren. Keep up with me, man. Keep up with me. Okay, so now we're going to use coral, and we'll color this cute seahorse. And let's use that lightest color for this underbelly side, I guess, even though really they're mostly sideways, aren't they? And then we'll just go ahead, because this is kind of a larger surface, we'll go ahead and color the whole thing with this. My marker is getting a little dry. But the good news is that I have a backup marker because I sensed it was getting a little dry. Okay. Oh yeah, that's much better. That kind of gave us like even another depth of color, so we can leave those scales the way they are and they'll be even lighter. All right, let's color the sides.
Donna said the frog is adorable.
Oh, Donna, I'm so glad you like it. I just love frogs. I think they're so cute. I don't know that I would love real frogs so much, but cartoon frogs, yeah, I can handle those. And where's that dry one? Let me grab the dry one again, and we'll try maybe getting these scales like the rest of those. Okay, so now let's use our darkest shade. And I'm going to try to color as quickly as I can. See if I can get the wrapper off. There we go. Okay, so let's use that darkest color. Okay, let's see how we did with that. We'll do the top in just a minute. Let's get that medium tone out and kind of blend that in. Push in the color. And now we'll use that lighter color again. Okay, now we just need to do our last little bit. Typically, I won't go all the way to the edge just because the ink can bleed a little bit. And I'd rather be safe than sorry. So once I get to that point, if I need to add any color, I'll just kind of dot it on. Okay, let's go with the medium now. And we'll just take that lightest color and kind of go over the little snouty thing. Okay, I think that's good enough. So now we've got our little floating guy, and then we just need to do our chair and our ball, and we're going to do them really quickly so that we can move on. Class went by, this live went by really fast. Okay, so let's do, this is Muted Brown Blend, and we're going to use this for the wood of the pool chair. What, honey? Oh, okay. This color is out of stock right now, but watch for it to come back. It's another really good one. So there aren't as many colors as some brands, but I think that the colors that they have are really good and useful. And unless you're like a really serious alcohol marker enthusiast, you probably don't need 300 colors of alcohol markers. All right, that's probably good enough for the wood. And then let's see. I'm thinking we'll just make some stripes on our chair. Let's just kind of follow the stripes that are there. I think I put that one in the wrong spot. Not really sure where it lines up. So we're just going to fake it. And I think I'm just going to use my colorless blender and kind of just fade these colors into each other a little bit. Okay, let's do, maybe we'll do that first. Oh, there it is. Okay. So this is a different brand. I don't think I have a Spectrum Noir one, but it works good. And I'm just softening the line a little bit so that where it's kind of over the line, it looks like it was more intentional. I'm all about any way that we can make things work, right? Just making sure I'm not missing anything. Oh, frogs on your glass door. Ooh, that's kind of fun. Tree frogs are so cool. Okay. Let's do some of our lighter purple. Sorry, I had to take my shoes off. They were bugging me. not sure if I love that yet, but it is what it is. You know what I mean? Let's try the slightly darker purple. This is why I don't hurry when I color, because I definitely need a little grace when it comes to making mistakes. And let's see. Let's use the actual darkest one too. Kind of wishing I'd done the whole chair purple, but that's okay. We're live. Things happen. I think it's okay. All right. So there is our chair. And then let's do our ball. Let's do some of it this color. Just using the darkest coral color. And now I'm going to use some blue turquoise. And I think I'll just start with that darkest one since I did anyway. And we will just fill it in. I'm not really being as precise on the ball. Let's do that medium color next. And lightest.
Jill said she's not that good at coloring, especially with alcohol markers.
You know what?
Take my time too.
Jill, honestly, it's just it's patience for one thing, and it's just practice. I think you kind of learn tricks as you go along, and then you will start liking it after a while. Okay, let's cut these guys out. Now there is a die set. It just hadn't arrived yet, so I know it probably has now, but I do not have that. But they are available, and I highly suggest getting the bundle with the dies because you will love having the ease of not having to fussy cut. Let's just add a little bit of highlight here. And we'll just kind of go over what we did. That's probably good enough. Okay. And I think, sorry, I can't leave it alone. I think we'll just put a little bit right there. Okay. I like that better. All right, let's get these guys cut out.
And Marie says she doesn't like fussy cutting. She'll do it if she has to, but if there's dyes, she buys them.
Yep, wise woman, Anne-Marie. I hear that. Because we want to go on to the next step, right? There are times when I fussy cut depending on the design of what I'm creating, but Dies were created for a reason. I just realized you probably can't see anything I'm doing. Sorry.
I was just about to say something.
Ooh, I caught it before Darren reminded me. That's pretty good. Darren's good at keeping me in line. And I don't think I even thanked him. Thank you very much, Darren, for moderating and keeping me in line. And yes, it is Darren's birthday tomorrow.
I'm an old fart.
29, Darren?
Add a few decades.
After, yeah, add a couple decades and you're good. Okay. We are almost done with this guy. And a little trick, if you don't already know it, is when you are fussy cutting, especially something that has all these little indentations and stuff, do not turn your scissors, turn your paper, and it makes it much easier. And when you get to little edges, just round off the corners, because it's amazing how much nicer it looks when it looks more like a die cut when you round off the corners. See how that one corner is sticking out? We'll just round that off. Now it looks much better. Okay. Now, if I had the dies, I'm guessing Darren probably has that cut out. Is that cut out on the die set?
I think so.
I don't know that for a fact, but knowing Darren,
Too small of a space. I can't.
it might be too small of a space, but it's gonna bug me. Well, it's probably okay. I think we'll be okay with that. You could, if you wanted to, you could just get a little blade and cut that, but I think I'm probably more worried about it than anybody who's going to receive this card. So. And
I'm gonna complain.
I'm not giving you a card then.
Maybe I get the X-Acto knife out.
Yeah, you could get an X-Acto knife out if you really, really are bothered by it. Okay, we're getting there, guys. Put some space on the floor coloring space. You could do that. I'm not sure the skill. At least it won't be as stark, right? Yeah, that's better. It at least doesn't stand out quite as much. Okay, so now we'll cut out our little floating guy. Okay, well, I don't feel so bad then.
The space is too small, the die can't be made.
So yeah, that space is a little too small. Darren takes those out whenever he can. He's really good about it, but sometimes the space is just too small. All right. I agree. That was a good tip, Penny. All right, almost there. Done with the seahorse.
Anne Marie says you're fast at pussycatting, pro status.
Oh, thank you, Anne Marie. Let's put a little bit, let's do the same thing we did. Only I think this one might be a little trickier because we've got that lighter color, but I'm going to try. I'm pushing the bristles together to maybe get it in there a little closer.
Jill says that floaty animal is so cute.
I love it too. That's one of my favorite things in the set for sure. Okay, so now let's get our cute little frog done, and we can start making things happen. So what is your guys' favorite things to color with? Do you like alcohol markers? Do you like watercolor? Do you like watercolor pens? I want to know what you guys like to color with. When I have a lot of time and I'm just coloring for pleasure, I personally love to use colored pencils. But to make them look the way I want them to, that takes time because it's a lot about layering the color and not putting too much pressure on one layer. For me anyway, that's what kind of a technique I use. But alcohol markers are awesome when you want to color a little bit quicker.
Anne Marie says alcohol markers and watercolors.
Oh, nice, nice.
Cherie said colored pencils.
Colored pencils, another colored pencil fan.
Anne says watercolor.
I have just not quite got the knack of that like some people do. I can get by with it, but I'm not as good. Like Christopher is really good at watercoloring, but I'm not quite there. I can get by, like I said, but I'm not nearly as skilled in that.
Donna R said Derwent ink tent pencil.
Oh, okay, the ink tints. I know. I'm pretty sure that's the one that Heather uses too. What was that, Darren?
She got specific.
Yeah, she did. That's good. Colored pencils are great, but very labor intensive. That is very true. Very true. Watercolor pencils are a little easier for me too because you can get a little bit more control. All right, so I'm going to move these guys off for a second, and I'm going to stamp our sentiment directly on. I have no fingernails right now, so I can't. There we go.
My favorite thing I like to color with is Photoshop.
Darren says his favorite thing to color with is Photoshop. All right, let's see. Yeah, anything that has a escape plan, a band-aid that can make something look better when you mess up, those are my favorite things. Anything with like an escape hatch. Okay, let's use our Raven ink, and we'll pretend that this is going to be straight because I am sure it won't. It's not too bad though. Especially considering that I did it direct to paper and that I'm live, I'm happy with it. It worked out okay. And I'm going to do it one more time. I'm going to tempt fate and do it one more time just because I like a nice dark sentiment. And this cute little phrase is from the picnic set. Simple pleasures are life's treasures. I thought that was cute. So when we lived in Arizona, when we first moved there, we were renting a house there and it had a pool. And that's the only time in my life I've ever lived with a pool in my backyard. And it was so nice. And that year was a rough year. That was the year that Darren got really sick. And I almost lost him. And he was recovering. It took him about a year to recover. And, we were so poor. We had nothing else to do. So it was really nice that we had a pool to entertain us that year. I have very fond memories of that. All right, I'm liking that for our layout. Let's start putting things down. I'm going to use let's use our glue. And I'm sorry, I know I've gone over time a little bit. That's hard not to do that when I color. So I hope that you don't mind too much.
Gina Gary puts a piece of plastic over the card in the MISTI. Do a practice run of stamping.
Oh, that's smart.
Straight, etc. Then stamp when sure.
Wow. I don't know if I'm that patient. I mean, that's awesome and really smart. I probably should do that. Okay, so I put some foam because it gave us that nice dimension. So the ball, you get that look that the ball is more behind it. And I'm actually going to do the same thing with our floaty guys. I got enough glue on that for both of those pieces. Oh, except I'm not using glue on this one. Oh well, it's not going to hurt anything. Let's add, just going to wipe a little bit of that off and put our foam squares on there. All right. So let's find a map for that and we'll get it on a card and we will have our cute little card. I'm going to check something. I'm not sure how this will look, so bear with me for a minute. I'm just thinking we've got all that purple. Maybe we should use some purple. I think purple could work, but let's try another color. I have to always try them before I am convinced. Let me grab a little piece of coral. The trick will be if I have a coral that matches. Coral, there's such a range of coral colors.
Emery says I think it needs to be the blue.
The blue?
Penny said she does practice run because she's afraid of messing up the card.
I don't mind that one too much. I think this one's going to be too bright. Too bright. And then we'll try some blue. Let's see if I've got a blue that color. And we can have a vote.
Emery says the coral is good though, or good too. I like the blue better.
Do you?
Yeah.
Darren's liking the blue.
I think the coral blends with orange that's the most biggest color.
What was that?
I think the coral blends with orange rocks too much.
Well, the rule of thumb for designing is that you want like a gallon, a quart, and a pint, I think is what they call it. So the blue is a good demonstration of that because that is the color that we'll have the most of. And then I don't know if we really got quite to the other ones. What?
Brandon says blue, Donna R says blue, Sean Fellows says blue.
It looks like blue is the color of the day. Hi, Brandon. I didn't see it pop in. I'm glad you're here. Okay. Well, that works for me. So let's get our card matted. Yeah, I like that. I think that looks nice. So let's find our, I'm going to use my tape. I can't remember the brand on this, but these, we just started carrying these in the store and I'm really liking these. And it's repositionable, which, you know, like I said, I like stuff with forgiveness and that gives me that option. Let's see if I can get somewhere close to centered. Okay, let's get this guy on a card base and call it good. I think we might need a couple of little doodahs on it. But I've got a few right here we can choose from, so that's good. These are the pre-cut, pre-scored card bases, which I absolutely love. Anne Marie says, high five, Darren, on the blue.
LOL.
Oh, I see that now. Sorry. Okay. Anne Marie sent a lot of them into the home store, the brick and mortar store. And then just, you know, occasions that come up. Sometimes people at church. I like to keep some get well ones around. What am I looking for? Oh, I know what I'm looking for. But yeah, that's a lot of them go back to Brutus Monroe so that people can come in the store. And hey, Darren, I didn't tell you this, but you might want to see if this is still on the site. It's Easter Time enamel dots from Echo Park. But yeah, if people want to know how to use the product, it's nice to have them in there so that people can see. I'm going to maybe try getting that purple up in here just to tie the purple in a little bit more. And maybe we'll put some, that little piece of blue was bothering me. I'm glad I could cover it up. And maybe one over here. I think that will work. What do you guys think? The fun thing about this pull is you can do all kinds of things. You could add glitter glaze. You could even do everything I did and then just do just a layer of icicle, which is our clear embossing powder. That would make it look even more like water. The sky is the limit. There's so many fun stencils in this release. I'll be using more next week. I will be doing more with the summer release, and there's a few things that I don't have yet that I'll have by then, I think. So we will play again. All right. Thank you so much, Donna. Oh, you have your cart loaded up. I know, it's a great release, isn't it? There's a bunch of bundles, so definitely check out the bundles, Anne Marie. Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate that. And I appreciate you guys coming and visiting with me on Fridays. I look so forward to it, and I feel like y'all are my friends, and I really enjoy that. I hope that you guys, if you are able to, will come to Create Your Own Ending. This year, I get to be right there in the store, and I will be teaching a couple of classes, and I would love to meet as many of you as I possibly can. I can hardly wait. I've been wanting to go to the store for over 3 years. I can hardly wait. So I hope that you'll be there too. All right, Darren, did you put a link? I know I didn't warn you, but maybe you might want to put a link to Create Your Own Ending. And the Create Your Own Ending, if you're not able to make it to the store, it is also available for a virtual class. And just in case you aren't familiar with what Create Your Own Ending is, oh, Penny, I'm so glad. Oh, I'm so glad I get to meet you. in person, I should say. Create Your Own Ending is an event that's going on from July 7th through 9th. And there's going to be classes taught by Christopher, by Heather, by myself. Gina will be there teaching a class. Candy will be there teaching a class. And Kate will be teaching some make and takes, as well as Jesse from Brutus Monroe from the home store, and Daryl, and I think maybe Ani. I don't know if he said anything yet to her, so I hope I didn't just spill the beans, but so many fun things. We are having so much fun planning it, so I can hardly wait to see you. Oh, Anne Marie, I hope you can too. I hope I get to go in person again too, so that I can meet you. All right, you guys, I'm going to let you go. Enjoy your weekend, and I will see you next Friday. And like I said, I'll have more. There's so much to this release. It'll be a completely different project, and I won't even have to try. Thank you so much. I will see you then.